Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all having a great day and that you're all doing well. To start things off, EOS developer Block 1 has announced the release of version 2.0 of the EOSIO open source protocol, according to a news release shared with Cointelegraph. On the 8th of October, EOSIO is a blockchain-based smart contract protocol used to develop and host decentralized applications. It employs a consensus model called delegated proof of stake. According to Block 1's announcement, the core of EOSIO 2.0 includes various improvements to the EOS virtual machine, a high-performance WebAssembly engine specialized for blockchain applications that enable more efficient use of system resources when processing smart contracts. Block 1 claims that the updated EOS virtual machine offers up to a, here we go, 16x performance gain over EOSIO 1.0, thereby greatly improving smart contract efficiency. Other major developments include the adoption of authentication standards, allowing to use a hardware device for authenticating and signing transactions in browsers without extensions or extra installed software for EOSIO applications. This will improve security without users needing to keep track of their private keys or other account information, the news release claims. So, this I think has been a long time coming, and this has been compared to something else. I'm pretty sure you can gather exactly what that is. For those of you who don't know, EOS in 2017 was seen as like the successor to Ethereum, that it was going to be this new platform that would kind of take over everything and everyone would bow down to it in some sort of digital way, and therefore EOS would take over Ethereum. That in the cryptocurrency markets has yet to happen. However, EOS has gained a lot of steam. It's fascinating in that 2018 was a very, I want to say, a lull year. We didn't hear that much about EOS as we did during the course of 2017. One can only assume, as it started out as an ICO token that people, I guess, were trying to maybe not talk as much about ICOs or kind of trying to stay away from ICOs. We have had in the past many other cryptocurrency projects, not going to name any names, you should know exactly who they are, who have announced their 2.0 version releasing and that they were able to do this, and that. So far, we have yet to see any cryptocurrency project who was originally created to take over Ethereum or bypass Ethereum or be better than Ethereum, pretty much pass by Ethereum. We had news last year. There was a bit of a, not even a war. It was like an unfriendly competition between EOS, Cardano, and Tron. And the idea was who can do more transactions before anyone else. And I think Cardano wasn't really in the race because they still haven't released Shelly, which is like the full or beginning of the full implementation of their blockchain. But there was a race between EOS and Tron. I'm holding up two fingers as if someone's looking at me. And one of the, I think Tron said that they were able, to do around 10,000 transactions per second. And I believe the EOS blockchain was able to do between 3,000 to 5,000. I think that's what the numbers were. So a 16x performance gain over EOSIO is, or would be, incredibly significant. The other part is that EOS did see a bit of, not the word fanfare, but a bit of attention during the course of the end of 2018 when a lot of people realized, for those of you who don't know, once again, this is EOS 2.0, and we've been waiting for Ethereum 2.0 for quite a bit of time. And when we realized that there was a video game that was released, I believe it was last year or a year and some change ago, that involved cats, and Ethereum was slowing down because of that game, a lot of people started to actually migrate their coins, chains, blockchain systems over to EOS. And the people from EOS have started to pick up a bit more when it comes to news over the last couple of weeks, which is kind of nice to see, because I was getting worried for a number of cryptocurrency blockchain projects in general. Not even like I want to even say like a whole blanket over the altcoin sector. Bitcoin doesn't usually need news to come out that it has an upgrade happening. It just kind of reacts by itself because people are just buying up Bitcoin. Anyway, altcoins, for some reason, as prices, when prices don't move upwards, the companies of said other altcoins don't usually release news. So the fact that we're getting a lot of nice news over the last couple of weeks, not just from EOS, but a number of other cryptocurrency projects, is very nice to see. It lets us know that they're still active. There were a lot of other coins, I'm sure you remember at the beginning of this year, who had to release tweets pretty much saying, yeah, hey guys, we're still here. No, you haven't heard from us in like 16 months, but like we're still working on it. And it's like, you should have, like, Twitter's there just once a week. Hey, we're still working on it. It's something a bit more. Anyway, the actual, not press release, blog post is right here. It says, introducing EOSIO 2, enhancing performance, improving security, and new developer tools. And it kind of goes on. For those of you who want to read this, be my guest. I'm pretty sure you can find it quite easily on the interwebs. And the other part was, I was looking to see if this had actually been released. A lot of the websites were discussing this as if it had already been implemented. But on Dan Larimer, the guy who, I want to say CEO, head of Block 1 EOS, it says right here in the middle, it says EOSIO2 RC1 is officially available for the community to download and utilize on test nets and even non-critical EOS nodes. Assuming no major issues, this will be the final 2.0 version, and it's super fast. So I want to say it's still in testing, but it seems like if they find nothing wrong, this will be EOS 2.0. I was mainly wondering because the price of EOS hadn't spiked up every single time any coin says that they are going to have some type of an upgrade has happened, or like a day or two away, the price usually spikes up. And I was wondering why it hadn't done so. I assume because this is still in the testnet mode. But to be fair, they move a lot quicker than the people from Ethereum. So one can only assume that if they're announcing this now, that by the end of this year, we will probably have an EOSIO 2, which would be even more of a ridiculous moment because we still don't have an Ethereum 2.0. Still keeping hope alive. However, I like both projects. Not really one more than the other. I like the attention that they both get in their own corners. Anyway, that's the EOS 2.0 news for today. Next up, where is it? There we go. The Canada-based crypto exchange known as Coinfield says it's a step closer to launching a mysterious project designed to push mass adoption of XRP. The exchange says it has launched an XRP validator and is preparing to roll out the project. The validator says, or has already been added to Ripple's unique node list of trusted servers. CEO Bob Raz. Wow, how did I read? I read that completely incorrectly. Bob Raz is calling the upcoming project a game changer for both the digital asset and the blockchain industry as a whole. He said, the new ecosystem is the most sophisticated project ever built on top of the XRP ledger, and it is the best use case for that. We believe this will be a big step forward for the whole industry and the mass adoption of the XRP blockchain, in quote. Coinfield began teasing the project last month. The exchange posted a backwards S on Twitter. I remember when this happened. People were kind of freaking out because nobody knew what it was. It says it's somewhere around here. Where? Yeah, Coinfield is one of a handful of exchanges that uses XRP as a base pair instead of Bitcoin. It now has more than 30 coins and a number of fiat currencies paired directly with XRP. This was, I mean, if you want to talk about exciting news last year, this was kind of like one of the one of the highlights of 2018. It was a very, not depressing, it was a very slow year. Let's just say it that way, as prices continued to fall. And when we had indications that the people from Ripple had been working with a number of cryptocurrency exchanges around the world who openly announced, which is also very fantastic, because normally we hear rumors about stuff like this, but then we're like, okay, it's not going to actually happen. That they were openly going to be using XRP as usually like their first coin in their website. And then henceforth, they would only be using XRP as their base pair, which was also a huge discussion during the course of 2017, because Bitcoin was the only coin that was paired to everything. If you wanted Ether, if you wanted XRP, if you wanted this, if you wanted that, you had to go through Bitcoin. The point being, this backwards S. I'm not on crypto Twitter. as much as some other people. I see a lot of in-house fighting. Anyway, I saw people freaking out about the backwards S. I think we still have no indication as to what this is going to be. Apparently, it's part of their secret project, and this is also coinciding with why about a day and some change ago we saw the price of XRP spiking from around 7 to 10%. I assume it has to do with the validation of being a trusted server on the network, and also their secret project to increase mass adoption of XRP. We'll see exactly how this goes. Ripple typically, okay, I put it to you this way. Normally, things associated with, trying to choose my words lightly. Ripple / XRP are typically not hype coins. Let me explain. Other things that people usually deem as news end up being hyped. Okay, whatever. I'm trying to choose nice words to say it. Pretty much whenever individual people sometimes talk about XRP or Ripple on Twitter or Reddit, it usually has to do with some really wacky ideas, Riddler, 589, things of that nature. But usually on the realistic side, whenever we get news from an actual cryptocurrency exchange or the company Ripple, they tend to do what they say that they're going to do. So I assume it's gonna be an app. Maybe it's complete integration of XRP. I don't know exactly what more they could do to push for mass adoption. It has to be an app. I can't think of anything else. I don't think it's going to be a video game. It's not very mass adoption-y. Anyway, that's the XRP news for today. Next up, Ledger's in the news. Major hardware wallet producer Ledger plans to integrate cryptocurrency atomic swaps powered by cross-blockchain powered protocol. I'm going to call them SWIFT. It says SWFT is missing an I, but I assume it's meant to be a replacement for the SWIFT that we have now. SWIFT into its companion app known as Ledger Live. According to the news from the 8th of October, wallets with SWIFT blockchain integration and now allow their users to swap currencies without having to leave the app or worry about addresses. That being said, no date has been provided by the launch of the new Ledger Live feature. Swift blockchain founder and CEO Rambolan envisions the demand for such services to grow drastically in the future, he said. As the cryptocurrency market moves from speculation to real-world use, the need to swap between currencies will grow at Swift blockchain. We believe swaps and payments are the next big thing. We are confident our tools will help companies like Ledger adapt to this new demand, end quote. Pretty much, this was a major conversation during the course of 2017. We have this, like when I talk about a lot of things just went hush. During 2018, this was definitely one of them. The idea was in 2016, and then we started seeing this implementation during the course of 2017, was that in the future, you know, like when you travel around right now, and you go from here to there and you have to find like you either use your card, but you can also find one of those like booths or kiosks where you can like hand them your money and they give you back the local currency and that's what you kind of use and you pay a huge fee and you so and so and so. In the future, as everything will be digital, we won't have to rely on services like that anymore. We'll be able to simply, you know, realistically, if everything is digital and crypto, cool, you can just swap between wallets. You can go into this. You can, you know, I want to pay in Litecoin instead, and you go into that. You kind of pay in Litecoin. The idea will be that in the future, wherever you are, you can do an atomic swap. So you can swap between the coins atomically, instantly, without having to really do anything. And I think most usually it's also feeless. So yeah, you kind of get what I'm saying. It just makes things a lot easier. It's more of this like immediate swap between currencies without actually having to physically go to a place or ask someone for permission to be able to swap between your coins. So this was, like I said, this was big news in 2017 at the beginning of 2018. And I think since then we've seen atomic swaps between Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ether. I think there's Litecoin, not Nano. There are like very few coins that have tried to do this. A lot of them are still in testing. However, it is widely believed within the next couple of years that we will be using this by default without even really thinking about it. And Ledger, I assume, is trying to be the first one to be able to integrate this into their systems through Ledger Live. Kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, there was so much news that we had about this in 2017. So many other things that 2018, not that they wiped it out. It's more like everyone was more focused on prices going down than actual innovation within the cryptocurrency space. Next up, UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, has launched a crypto fund to receive, hold, and distribute donations of Bitcoin and Ether in its aim to back open source technology for children around the world. UNICEF said in an announcement on Wednesday that in a first for United Nations organizations, the cryptocurrency fund will receive contributions in cryptocurrency and grant out in the same digital currency form. That's actually quite significant. I'll get back to that in 1 second. The organization added the first contributions to the UNICEF cryptocurrency fund. They came from the Ethereum Foundation and will benefit 3 grantees of the UNICEF Innovation Fund. It said the 3 grantees that will receive the initial donations are Prescripto, Addix Labs, and Utopixair, focusing on the areas of prescription tracking, matching investors, and those needing funding, and community tokens and engagement. Apparently, $18,000 worth of Ether was donated. One really interesting part, first of all, the fact that we have more organizations accepting cryptocurrencies as donations or as funding or as anything else you can kind of think of is already quite significant. Especially when it comes down to the fact, and even more so, the point to be made is that, I was going to say historically, it's been like 2 years. What we've seen thus far within the cryptocurrency space, or anyone accepting donations in crypto, is that they tend to receive the crypto and then they do the payout in local currency or in dollars or whatever the currency might be for that country. But the fact that they're keeping it in crypto and also granting it out in the same digital currency, it's a further step forward, validating the actual usage of cryptocurrencies and not having to actually swap out of them to put your money into an inflationary currency that people deem is stronger. Anyway, this news lightly ties directly into this. This was news everywhere, and I. Yeah, why not? It says cryptocurrency donations to politicians legal in Japan, says Internal Affairs Minister. Cool. Apparently, political donations in crypto got the thumbs up yesterday within Japan, and this was like the headline news of the month. Everyone was losing their minds over this. I get why. Cool. Yay. The other point maybe is that Japan and South Korea pretty much ran the cryptocurrency market during 17. So I assume this has to be like, yeah, you can use crypto even more in that country, even though everyone there is already using it. I couldn't figure out the hyper significance of this. We've had political donations in other countries before, and it's been like $800. 600 euro, and it's like, oh, cool, right, you know. So yeah, that's the donation funding news. I mean, baby steps. We can't expect a tsunami all at once, but we're getting those little waves constantly hitting the shores. Anyway, let's move on. To kind of finish things off, Binance announced the launch of its 8th phase of lending on the 7th of October. In this phase, Binance will start offering 14-day fixed-term lending products. Subscribers will be accepted on a first-come, first-served basis. The subscription period begins on the 10th of October and ends on the 10th of November, while interest will be paid immediately after the sum matures. The digital assets include Binance Coin, obviously, Bitcoin, Binance USD, EOS, Ether Classic, Ether, Chainlink, Tether, and XRP. The APY, or annualized percentage yields on loans, starts at 3% for Bitcoin and reaches 10% for BNB, USDT, and BUSD. The exchange's CEO Changpeng Zhao praised the high yield of these loans, saying, "How much is the interest on your US dollar making for ya in the bank?" I don't know why he said ya. Convert them to bust. Sounds terrible. BUSD, and let them start to make 10% APY for you, end quote. This is becoming quite popular. This is not a, what's the word? An advertisement. I don't do those on this channel. That's not me telling you to use this. However, this is becoming a very big thing. A lot of people are skeptical, and I think you have, I think you even have the right to be skeptical. We've been burned many times before during the course of 2017 and the beginning of 2018 with things that appeared to be good. As far as like making returns back on your cryptocurrencies, I assume it will take about a good 6-7 months, my opinion, to be able to see if these, not if they're valid. What's the word? Typically, me, myself, whenever something happens or something is new in the cryptocurrency space, I wait about 3 to 6 months as like a cool off period. Things get very hot in the very beginning. People love them. People go insane over these things. And then eventually we start getting news reports. I lost my money. I had all my money here. There was a hack. I had a so-and-so. And then blah, 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 blah. BitConnect. So it's like, okay, I wait a bit. 10, even 3% on Bitcoin is about 15 times more than you're getting from a bank, because banks usually have around 0.02%. So it's a lot more than 15%. The point being, yeah, they're starting their 8th phase of this. This is becoming, once again, very popular. A lot of people like making extra money on the side. However, if you do plan on using this, as always, make sure to do your own research. And even then, I would still wait a bit. Like, you know, you waiting an extra 3 months to make, 3 to 10% is totally fine. Make sure that this is, not that it's not legit. It's more like a, we've seen similar things like this before. And I want everyone's cash to remain and not go up into flames. I don't think it's going to happen, but you get what I'm saying. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohair Maroney, Master Ventures in Thailand, Brady Niels, Woody and Daisy, Triple M and J, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Milweezy, Mechanic, Strange, Radio Central, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Cryptopolis, Nicholas, Red Earth, One Piece, One Love, Damien, Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Crypto Bishop, Apaxis, Nick Manji, Alavodi, Anthony Charles, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, and Bodie McBoatface. Did it. Thank you all very, very much for your support at the moment. I was reading something, and they were discussing that it appears like a lot of altcoins are, altcoins have grown fatigued of Bitcoin's lack of movement, and therefore, they're seeing a lot of bullish behavior on the altcoin side, regardless of what Bitcoin at that current moment might be doing. Bitcoin is currently not even slightly in the red, it's just below 1% down. A lot of other altcoins are trying to move themselves up, as you can see in the chart. EOS, I think, was up around 3%. I guess that lull maybe went down after the announcement. Binance coin is up by 6% because it's